excited to be back at the Rock this week, coming off a tough loss at Miami. Again, very proud of everyone on our program, our whole organization. Came up short to the number one a ranked team in college football and a perennial powerhouse, but it wasn't short of effort. We've turned our focus now on Elon. This is the biggest game in school history, in my opinion. And again, to get a chance to come back to the Rock with a sold-out crowd, and looking forward to it. So, tough loss, but we moved on, and we're now ready for Elon.
I guess first off, after the post game, you kind of pointed out the things that stood out. Was there anything else that you noticed looking at that tape that stood out as maybe things that factored in?
No, again, our guys went out to win. There was no question in this building, in our program, that we were going to win the football game. Our kids played that way. Again, it was a tough environment, and but that's college football. And you can go back and pinpoint a few things here, a few things there, and you can't give a great team 9 points. We did that on a safety, on a punt, and then we have a tip ball that ends up getting picked off, and they got to score a touchdown. But it has nothing to do with our players. Our players were resilient. I mean, we put our defense in some tough spots. They answered the bell, and our offense went down and scored touchdowns versus a very tough defense. And in order for us to give a chance to win, I told our team we had to score on special teams or defense, and we did that. And it came down to the very last play, and we were driving down to win it. And yeah, I'm proud of our football team, and that's part of college football. You're going to win some, you lose some. We want to win them all. But that happened, and again, our players were great yesterday. Came in, we had a good workout yesterday, and it was all on Elon.
I guess off that, like right before the half, you guys have possession, and I just wonder as a coach, when you're trying to evaluate, like using, the last, I guess, minute and a half before halftime to either, be aggressive or running out the clock. Like, what kind of goes into the factors of what you do in those situations?
Well, I wanted to look at our team in the eyes and see how they felt. And our offense, they wanted to go for it, and then our defense came off a long drive, and those guys were. I didn't want to put our defense in a bad spot, and we had the lead there, and I want to go into halftime with the lead, and I wouldn't change anything we did. I thought it was best for our program, give us the best chance to win the football game. And if we would have had a big play, we would have started the tempo a little bit faster to go from there. But again, where the game was, and we had the lead, and I didn't want to give Miami the ball back.
Broader question: when you think about last year's experience, and then maybe what you saw on Saturday, confidence level in the way this team reacts when it plays from behind. Do you notice any difference or anything that stands out to the way that they approached, the back and forth nature of Saturday?
That's what this program's built on. I mean, I think this program, when you go to any game, that our guys expect to win. And it was a heavyweight fight. We went toe-to-toe with a ranked opponent at third place. And again, we came up short, but there's no question. I don't doubt anybody's effort or want to win. It was there. And again, we were disappointed. It was a gut-wrenching loss for all of App Nation, for everyone in this program. But hey, that's where we are right now. And I'm very proud of our guys.
Pivot to Elon. Can you kind of give the 2 or 3 things that really stand out about that football team?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Tony and his program down there in Burlington. And the one thing that stands out to me is our quarterback, Davis Cheek. And when I was a position coach, recruited the Charlotte area. I recruited Butler High School, and he's 6'3", 217 pounds, got a fantastic arm, makes great decisions. They have a great running back. Our receivers caught a lot of footballs, and on defense, they are very sound on defense, and they give you some issues. How they line up, and they like to play good zone coverage, and they'll like man sometimes bring pressure, and their special teams are very solid. And again, it's going to be a tough week for us, and we know that, and we're excited for it. But again, that's why I mentioned earlier, this is the biggest game in App State football history, and we're approaching it that way. You look around college football, and Jacksonville State beats Florida State, and Colorado State gets beat by South Dakota State, and anybody can beat anybody on any given day in college football, and we're not taking this game lightly.
Coach, I know that coaches continuously evaluate. What was your evaluation of program maturity after watching Saturday's game and maybe reflecting back to what this program looked like when you played Miami the last time? After seeing the game play out, what gains have you noticed?
In 2016, our guys thought we could win. And then you fast forward to 2021, our guys expected to win. And I think that's overtime. And anytime you can play Tennessee to overtime in 2016 and take Penn State to overtime, and you beat North Carolina and South Carolina, that gives you confidence. And our goal every week is to go 1-0, and that's never going to change whoever we're playing. And our guys came out ready to play, and you can see that from starting on practice last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They were locked in, and we went out and gave it the best effort we possibly could. And again, I'm proud of our football team. A lot of people are disappointed, no more disappointed than we are, and we're moving on to Elon.
You're 2 games in now with this whole super senior concept. Can you put a value on what it's like to have guys that are just a year more physically mature and have been able to deal with some of the curveballs that have come up over the past couple of years, to be able to count on them in the fourth quarter of games?
And to have those guys, the list, we have 14 super seniors, I believe, and most of our whole receiving corps are super seniors, and we have Bear Hunter. That's invaluable for the offensive line because that was a position we had to have at center. And just to give the younger guys confidence. And it's neat to watch at practice, the older guys, the super seniors spending time with our young guys and show them the way we do things at Appalachian State. And so that we do things a little bit different on the mountain, and our guys are locked in. And again, you can't put a price tag on that. You wish they were all super seniors and had all 6 years of experience, but we're glad they're here.
Can you take yourself back to 18-year-old Sean Clark, who rolled into campus here, versus what an 18-year-old would see this place like on Saturday, and appreciate the difference in how things have developed over that time?
I have a picture of my office from the stadium in 1994, and to look at it now is surreal. And when you bleed and swell in this football field in this program, and you look at it now of where we came, and a lot of that goes to our administration. And you start from the top with Chancellor Everts and Doug Gillen. They give you every opportunity to be successful here, and they expect to win. They expect to play for championships. And, I think that's where it starts. But, again, I just think now we put ourselves in a great position to compete on any given Saturday against anybody in the country. And, again, I think it starts with our facilities.
All right, we'll go with any questions on Zoom. Does anybody on Zoom have questions? David, we can't hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sean, going tactically on offense, to start the second half, it really felt like you guys got very intentional about getting the ball to Thomas Hennigan. One of the things I've noticed about Chase Bryce, and I think it's a great strength of his going through spring and fall camps, is he doesn't tend to get locked in on any one receiver. I think he completed 10 different guys against ECU and 8 different guys on Saturday at Miami. But, when it comes to making sure that you're getting all of your best playmakers some opportunities out there, does that require maybe every now and then for the play calling to isolate on somebody like Thomas just to make sure that he's getting touches in the flow of the game?
It does, and we have a checklist. We want to get a certain player so many touches, and we have a lot of great playmakers on our team, and to make sure they get multiple touches. And we were trying to get Hennigan in certain situations and line up against certain people, but I think Chase does a great job of reading the coverage, and they were rolling over and put a safety in a corner on Corey Sutton, and then we had Jalen in there trying to double coverage him, which gave opportunity to Malik Williams and Thomas Hennigan. But again, we were trying to get the ball to Hennigan in the second half, and we need to get the ball more to him. He's sure-handed. He can catch the ball and get those tough yards. But again, we have to get with what the defense takes us.
And talking to kind of a two-pronged question here, can you give us an update on the general health of the team? And then in particular to that, you really had to rely on second-string safeties quite a bit on Saturday night. Can you kind of isolate how they looked after you had a chance to watch the film?
Yeah, just injury-wise, they came in yesterday banged up. Brendan Harrington's he's sore. He'll be a go for Saturday. Trying to think who else is banged up. Ryan Huff, he's sore. He looked good yesterday. I think today's a big day for him as far as injury goes, but all signs were pointing in the right direction. We were banged and bruises a little bit versus playing a tough game. Again, that was a physical game we played, and that's our brand of football, is to play physical. As far as safety goes, Nick Ross was suspended the first half due to targeting versus East Carolina. I thought he came in and did a very good job for us. And then Ronald Clark came in and gave us some valuable snaps. He has to play more in the back end. He's a guy that can he's very good versus the run. He can cover the deep vertical routes. And who else was out there? Madison Cone. Madison Cone. He's been a big help for us back there. He allows us to play some more man coverage. And Coach Lockwood's done a great job with those guys. And You also got to throw Jackson Green, and those guys play some also. And we'll need everybody this year to win each week, and we'll get more reps as the year goes on.
Last question for me, with being able to come back and have a normal crowd day at Kid Brewer Stadium. I mean, it's been 650 days by the time you actually kick off on Saturday. How significant is that going to be to you personally as somebody who grew up in this program?
You said 650 days?
Yeah, I think it's 650 days since you guys played Louisiana in the Sun Belt Championship in 2019.
Wow, that's a long time. I'm excited. I mean, our kids are excited. And I say this all the time. This is not coach speak. We have the best fans in college football, and it's going to be a beautiful day in Boone. It wouldn't matter if it was raining or snowing or whatever it may be. It's the home opener at the Rock. And again, this was asked earlier of myself, to see the program from 1994 when I first got here to see it now. We're playing big-time football here. And in order to play big-time football, you need a big-time fan base, a very passionate fan base, and we have that. And I'm excited right now. I can't wait to get everybody here at the Rock. And we need all that nation behind us. Again, this is the biggest game in App State football history, and we have to treat it that way, and our players will. So we're excited to see the fans out here on Saturday.
All right, we'll go next to Kenneth Reese, Watauga Online.
Thank you, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So, Coach, you're not worried at all about any letdown this weekend, having played in 2 NFL stadiums back-to-back, all the excitement with Luke Combs being down there, and then, the close ball game on Saturday. You have no concern whatsoever about a letdown?
No, our players are built for this. This program's built for this. I can go back from personal experience in 1994 when we played VMI, and that won't happen here. And again, we came in yesterday, our guys were ready to play yesterday. And so I'm not worried about a letdown. I'm worried about make sure our guys don't get too excited for it. And again, this is a huge game, and our fan base will have a large role in that. We need all of them there. But as far as a letdown, no way. It won't happen. And as long as I'm the head football coach here, because I know college football, it's hard to win. I don't care if you're playing, who you're playing, where you're playing. You mentioned we play in 2 NFL stadiums. I'll take the Rock over those 2 stadiums any day of the week. And that's how passionate about this place. And our kids will be ready to play.
Thank you very much, Coach.
All right, we'll go next to David Rogers, Watauga Democrat.
Yeah, Coach. Could you speak to the energy that Jalen Virgil's kickoff return provided to the team there in the second quarter, and how much of that success that he had was as a result of planned blocking schemes versus how much he sort of read on the way?
Well, I think as far as our team, our message to our team all week long was we had to score a touchdown on special teams or on defense to give us a chance to win. And we did that. And Virgil gets a lot of the credit because he's electric back there. He's a big-time player. A lot of the credit goes to Coach Haynes and the design of the play, of how we did things, and then the people who actually designed the blocks, who performed the blocks, did their job. We have a saying as DYJ, do your job. And they did their job. And those guys are the unsung heroes. Virgil made a great cut up the sideline, and his athleticism took over from there. And you can see it on tape. They have 3 guys chasing him down, and he was pulling away from them. So he's a big-time weapon for him. We'll make sure we use that in the future. But it was a great execution, great play by Jalen Virgil.
All right, any more questions in the room? Yep.
Sean, I wanted to ask about TD Roof and, the time he got on Saturday, the way he played, but also, he's listed as one of the team captains, and he kind of stands out just because you've got a lot of guys who recruited to come to App, and he was a guy that transferred in. What makes him so important to the team to be a team captain?
Well, I go back, and we all know this. He comes from a lineage of football. His dad, Ted Roof, was here as defensive coordinator. But the thing I love about TD, he's one of us. He came in here, and he understood the culture we have. And last year he didn't play as much as he probably should. And he came in here with a great attitude. And he's a blue-collar kind of guy. He loves to play football. He loves his teammates. And he was voted captain by his teammates because of the work ethic he has and the love he has for this program. I can't say enough good things about TD. He's kind of broken out of his shell a little bit, and he loves to play the game. He plays it the right way. It's one speed, it's 100 miles an hour, and we can use him in multiple positions. He can play inside, he can play outside. He's voted team captain on special teams, and that's something that doesn't happen very often. because that's 1/3 of the football game, and our guys saw that. And I'm very proud of TD the way he's handled himself. And he's handled himself like a pro, and he's a valuable member of our program.
And then last one, honoring Jerry Moore this upcoming game. I know he's still a big part of your life, still around the program a good bit. What's that going to mean for you on Saturday when that comes to fruition?
I think it's perfect timing for Coach to get him back in the fold at Appalachian State. You're in this new building right now, and if it wasn't for Coach Moore, I'm not sure if it would be here or not. You go back and look at his record, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. We call ourselves Jerry's kids around here because it's all because of him. And again, we love him. We're glad he's back here, but Saturday's about him celebrating his career and giving his all for Appalachian State. But we have a job to do in Elon, and we'll celebrate him. But our job is to make sure we get a win and to make sure we do it the right way. But I can't say other things about Coach Moore, and probably the biggest boss of the Moore family is Miss Margaret Moore. She probably runs the place more than he does. But again, just to honor him, to give him the respect that he needs and he deserves, I'm very proud of that. I'm proud to be the head football coach. So when we're finally recognizing him and putting a statue out in front of this building, that he made this program, and we're all here because of him.
Coach is always pretty detailed about remembering recruiting visits of important people in his life. Do you remember your recruiting visit with him?
I do, and I came from Fort Union Military Academy. It was in January back in those days. There was no in-season official visits. I flew into Hickory, North Carolina, which don't even have flights anymore, and myself and Lando Johnson came in for an official visit, and didn't have much time with him on Friday night, but Saturday at lunch, I committed, and it was probably the easiest commitment he ever had in the history of his coaching career. But just the way he talks to people, the way he understands you, that was important to me, and he gave me the feeling that this was home, and I knew right when I talked to him I was going to come to Appalachian State. But that was a very fond memory, one I'll never forget. It was lunch in the Broyhill. It was brunch. We were out late that night, so it was definitely brunch. But, yeah, it was definitely a great weekend.